Good afternoon, traders and investors. Will back here with another one. Little bit of a pullback day on the markets today after a nice, beautiful green day yesterday, guys. So tomorrow, CPI results is going to be the day, in my opinion, that's going to tip the scales either way, as traders will contemplate whether a potential uptick in inflation is serious enough to be cause for concern and whether inflation is proving to be more sticky in the long term than previously forecasted. I'll remind you on the channel, guys, we have always been predicting ever since July that August and September CPI reads would come in hotter than expected as people do spend more money during the summer. So we're going to keep a very, very close eye on that tomorrow. But today, fairly mixed day, guys. We went pretty much back and forth all day. And we did have an Apple event here where they did release their new iPhone, released upgrades to the Apple Watch, and more here. So we're going to go over all of that. We're going to go over our major indexes, going to go over our major tech names as well, and no portfolio update since we didn't open or close any new positions. You guys can watch yesterday's video for that. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it, guys. So SPY down 0.55% for the day. QQQ minus 1.11, almost giving back all the gains from yesterday, guys. You can see that on the markets here today, fairly mixed market here. Financials and healthcare actually didn't do too bad at all. The major losses came from pullbacks in technology here. Oracle taking a absolutely massive dip, 13.5% here, but they were previously at all-time highs. So even if you do pull up the chart for Oracle here, you will see that they are still doing fairly well, all things considered here, guys, even with a 13% pullback here, right? Monthly chart is still looking absolutely gorgeous, bulls with a ton of space here. So that's pretty much it for your technology stocks here, guys. Not a very good day on tech as a whole. A lot of tech pulling back. Even Tesla, which started off green, ended up going red on the day here. On the one-day relative performance, you'll see energy, financials, utilities, we're all in the green with everything else led by technology to the downside in the red here. So where do we stand, guys? So let's take a look at our futures charts here on the S&P and the NASDAQ here. They do provide a bit of a clearer picture, in my opinion, here. So we can see today's trading, we traded pretty much within yesterday's trading candle. On SPY, actually, you'll see that it's a bit outside, but on the futures chart, I kind of like this better. Today was very, very, very neutral, guys, right? Really trading within yesterday's trading as a whole. So I'll remind you, what have we been looking out for here, guys? Daily uptrend, as yesterday's video, we were looking, can the bulls start putting in more and more move to the upside here and potentially break this? Tomorrow's CPI is going to be crucial, guys. It all is going to have to do with Monday's high and today's low, right? So we can either do two things, guys. We can either continue higher tomorrow with CPI if CPI is in line, we get some good commentary on it, or if CPI is hotter than the expectations are already set to be higher. But if we come in even higher than expected here, well, you may just get your daily downtrend flush here. If it turns into a daily downtrend, I'll remind you that we will just still be in weekly consolidation and we will look to the lower levels of 433.50 for some potential support to really save the capacity from turning it in to a weekly downtrend here. So very, very crucial day on SPY. Tomorrow, I don't really want to predict what's going to happen, guys, because you know that that is definitely a fool's game. We like to just react to the levels. And on the channel here, right, that's what we do. And we wait for stocks to come to us, be patient and pick them up at good prices. So let's have a look on that on SPY for tomorrow. QQQ, same principle. If you take a look on the futures chart, you'll see it a bit better, right? Daily uptrend was confirmed, got the daily higher low down here, but traded within yesterday's trading again. So if you look on QQQ, you'll see that we were slightly lower, but pretty much a neutral day in relation to yesterday's trading. Really, traders just waiting for that CPI release, guys. The level to watch, line in the sand, 370. This 370, 369.55 area is absolutely crucial. Break that, you will set a new daily downtrend, and we will be going into further weekly consolidation. Bulls with a decent amount of space, though. Anything above 355.25 is just looking for a potential weekly higher low for a weekly trend change. September seasonality obviously playing a certain part here, but I do believe that the months of October, November, and December should be fairly good for the markets here. So no big red flags yet, guys, right? We're still in a daily uptrend here, just waiting to see what the bulls or the bears are going to do tomorrow to really set us up here for the next few weeks of information. XLF, beautiful day on XLF, despite giving it a bit back today, but we did set a new higher high, guys. So daily uptrend at this point is now confirmed. Finally confirming the daily uptrend trend change on XLF. So now daily higher low is set $34 pretty much. Anything above $34, any pullback It's going to be for your daily high or low for trend continuation here. Daily uptrend is set, which means that your weekly bounce does continue here. So weekly higher lows still put 3360 going to be your line in the sand level. Bulls not looking too bad, guys. Not looking too bad, right? Decent little pop off the move here. I would like to see them continue a bit more, but financials for the start of the week, guys, have had a pretty good week, even on the shorter term time frames. You can see here, guys, even though the markets did taper off into the end of the day on most of these indexes here, financials holding up some decent gains for the day. So it'll be very nice to see if they can continue and start closing higher and higher into these areas and start getting to our 3550 area of previous resistance here and really start continuing this weekly uptrend into our higher area of resistance. Keep in mind, we've been trapped here, guys, for quite some time. So we'll take it one day at a time. CPI tomorrow, crucial, but positive on the day. XLV Healthcare, inside trading day in relation to yesterday's trading, right? So no real movement on XLV here. All we're waiting for, guys, is your 131 area. Absolutely crucial, right? We do have a bit of space now to potentially be setting the daily higher lows for a daily trend change if the bounce tops off here. The bounce could always continue, and that would be the best case scenario, because if this bounce continues a bit more before pulling back here, daily trend change is almost guaranteed at that point, right? But now, not good enough for me here. So going to really keep a close eye on this. If we do come down here, guys, for any which reason and flush this, I'll remind you, we have to look higher to the weekly. You'll be looking at 129. The real line in the sand level, guys. This is currently a weekly downtrend, and that'll be your monthly, right? This whole area here, 128, 129, is your monthly higher low. So need the bulls to hold them, but they've been playing some good defense. So we'll see how it translates into tomorrow's trading. IWM Russell doing absolutely nothing. Bulls very, very, very weak, guys. Really don't like the bulls bounce here whatsoever, right? This is pretty much can be construed as a daily bear flag, meaning that further continuation can be possible for the bears. Bulls not putting up any defense whatsoever. If we do start flushing here, guys, your 181.77 is absolutely crucial. You break that, right? The weekly downtrend will be set in motion, and your monthly consolidation will continue. Anything above 170, still just for a monthly higher low. And we do have some decent amount of support down here right in the 180 pocket. So if we do keep dropping there, I will be looking to write puts under the 180 mark if we only get there, right? So crucial couple days left for IWM Russell here. Will they be able to hold our previous lows? Can the bulls start turning this around, or are we just going to roll over here into continued daily downtrends? Dow Jones names also very, very weak, guys, closing within yesterday's candle. So traders really sitting on the sidelines until we get this CPI. But, right, two possible scenarios here. We can either continue here and crack our 35,000, or the line in the sand level becomes 34,300 here. If you flush that, daily downtrend is started. And at that point, you will potentially be also in further weekly consolidation, and the weekly line in the sand levels is 34,000 as well. So flush 34,000, guys, you set up the weekly downtrend, and it will be for further monthly consolidation. Monthly consolidation still with some space. 32,700 is pretty much your level on that. So it just goes to show, guys, that even if the bulls do for some reason roll over into the rest of September here on the monthlies, all of these monthlies are still looking good for August and September pullback, as we had predicted on the channel here, right? So we're going to take this one day at a time. But would be really cool to see the bulls be able to smash this 35,000 area here, really set the daily uptrend nicely here, and get us into a higher and higher weekly bounce here and start moving towards our all-time highs, guys. We're almost there, but a few little items of uncertainty, in my opinion, are keeping the markets from pushing higher. That is your inflation, right? Inflation needs to pretty much stop in its tracks and continue trending lower after this services spending and summer spending, right? And terminal rates, guys, we need to get those terminal rates from the Federal Reserve. These, in my opinion, are the two things holding the market back from being able to fully price in all of the data here. Now, let's move on to Bitcoin here. Bitcoin with a little day of recovery here. They were down pretty much 4% yesterday, and they recovered about almost 4% today as well, right? So a bit of a muted day brings us right back into this range, guys. Still, bulls have tons of work to do. Need to set a new daily uptrend if you're looking for that. Line in the sand level remains 24,700. So until the bulls start putting in a bit more effort here, the bears are pretty much in full control of the daily, in full control of the weekly as well. We're still just looking for our long-term bottoming process here, right? Watch this line, 24,700. If you lose that, guys, not very good to the bulls. It'll be a loss of the monthly uptrend, and the bulls will have to restart all time frames from scratch. Now, Apple here with a bit of a down day as well, down almost 2%, 1.71% to the downside here, right? So Apple, bit of a mixed day, right? So we started off weak and then into the event, kind of recovered a bit and then kind of sold off intraday here. So did lose the lower time frames here. You can see that we had an hourly uptrend going here, right? Had the hourly uptrend and now we've lost it into an hourly downtrend. So your daily consolidation does continue, guys. Line in the sand level for me, 173.68. Lose that. Set up the daily downtrend. Daily downtrend confirms you are looking for further weekly consolidation. And the weekly higher low is not much lower than that, guys. 172. 172. If the 172 breaks, weekly downtrend confirmed. What are you looking out for then? Monthly consolidation, guys. Tons of space on Apple. So Apple, very, very safe still in my opinion, despite this recent fall off that they had here. I'm not going to talk about the event, guys. You can look at it pretty much yourselves. They really didn't unveil that much. Couple new watch upgrades and watch features. Couple new camera upgrades on their iPhone 15 that they're releasing in relation to their Apple Vision glasses, goggles that they'll be releasing pretty much next year, and some pretty much they are touting a new USB plug-in port for the phones with upgraded charging speed and more universal capacity for charging, obviously. So really no groundbreaking news on the Apple event. In my opinion, it was pretty much a non-event this year. Although I will say the phone does pretty much look nice, even though they haven't changed the design or anything. The new colors look nice. The camera upgrades are always beautiful. The new GPU upgrades are obviously very good, but nothing really like there's no X factor that I was looking for, you know? So not much surprise there. They did increase the price of their phones, which will contribute to higher margins, guys. And it's Apple, you know what I mean? So they're going to deliver, guys, whether people like it or not. They will continue to be very, very powerful in the sales of their phones and accessories and cloud subscription services, right? And they will continue to print money, guys. Really no red flags with this company whatsoever, despite the negative China news here. Just watch out for these levels, guys. And I am buying in this lower area if we continue to drop. AMD, right? AMD also pretty much an inside trading day with yesterday here, guys. Still trending a bit lower, guys. Still looking for the higher low, anything above 99.61. Just looking for your daily higher low. Need the bulls to start eventually setting potentially a daily trend change, guys. If we start getting back too much of this move, set up for another daily downtrend. Bulls still not out of the woods. Still trapped in this area here, guys. In my sweet spot now, 104 pretty much all the way down to 98. We are still looking to reverse this weekly downtrend into maybe a weekly uptrend. But for that, we will need a break, guys, of 111. 111 to the upside here is the crucial breaking point for the bulls on the daily time frame for the daily trend change, but also on the weekly time frame for your weekly trend change too. So need to see that from the bulls. If we continue to flush lower, guys, no big deal whatsoever. AMD is just in monthly consolidation, tons of space, guys, anything above 82. So even if we pull back in the $90 range, I will still be buying AMD. Really no problem with that. No real red flags on the long term for it. It's just we need these shorter term time frames. Amazon doing very, very good job here, guys, of maintaining gains. I know they were down 1.31% yesterday, but you can't ask too much for them. They were up 3.5% yesterday, right? So still flirting with our previous all-time highs, not able to get above them. But at this point, guys, 134 is your line in the sand level. Daily uptrend is beautifully confirmed, right? So any pullback at this point is just going to be for a daily higher low. Anything above 134 is going to do it for them for future continuation. No red flags on the daily, no red flags on the weekly either. Anything above 130, 131 is just going to be any pullback is just for weekly consolidation for a future push up. And even on the monthly, guys, monthly, no real signs here of it wanting to slow down here, right? I would need to see a loss of the daily trend first, and then a loss of the weekly uptrend, right? So flushing below this. And then I would start to potentially consider monthly consolidation. But as of now, guys, no real red flags whatsoever. Amazon holding up very, very beautifully, guys. If we do continue to push through these levels, guys, I'll remind you that your next area of resistance after 145 is all the way up here, 165, 170 on Amazon. So great job by the bulls, guys, of not giving back too much, playing a bit of defense. Tons of support down here for them to work with anyways. Google pulling back on the day as well here, so not able to get it done. Will it be forming a tightening range? Or will the bulls lose the daily uptrend, guys? 134.13, key level. They had a beautiful uptrend going here, right? Pulled back, set the daily higher low, weren't able to crack the highs, right? And now, if we flush this area here, 134, you will set up a daily downtrend. Is that a bad thing, guys? Not really. It's just a weekly pullback, right? So for weekly higher low, if ever we do pull back, and you guys know there's already tons of support. This 133 area is very, very deep with support. This is this whole area right here, right? Look how much previous resistance will now be support, right? So not too worried for the bulls whatsoever, even if we do pull back, even if we do crack this 134 area, guys. Just focus on the higher time frames. It's just a weekly pullback for a weekly higher low, 12 EMA, massive support right here, right? So you really shouldn't be worried. And even on the monthly, guys, I mean, Google does have some room to afford to pull back here, but no real red flags as of whatsoever until we start losing the daily and potentially the weekly as well. So, you know, tons of space to pull back here, but Google set up pretty nicely, guys. I mean, no real red flags. We'll see how CPI leads us into that tomorrow here. I can't buy up here. My sweet spot is all the way down here. I'll kind of go with 120 if we do pull back here over the next few weeks potentially. But that's what we're looking out for here on Google. And Google representing still some somewhat decent risk reward, right? Still off pretty much from the all-time highs, right? Off about 10%. Not the best, right? That's why I prefer down here in the 120s for me personally. Meta, right? So Meta also, all of these candles, guys, really, really mixed days yesterday and today, right? So pretty much all the gains from yesterday, a lot of these stocks have given them back. But Meta set up pretty nice, guys, right? We're still in a daily uptrend here. Anything above 276 pretty much is just going to be consolidation for a daily higher low. Anything above that for continuation here. And if for some reason we do start pulling back a bit too deep into this area, yes, the bears can set up for the daily trend change to the downside here. But as of now, no real red flags whatsoever. I know it looks kind of like a weak move here. We could be setting up for potential further weekly consolidation. Your real line in the sand is 275 at that point. But we're not there yet, right? First, the bulls have to lose the daily uptrend. Then, only then will we look to see the size of this weekly move down here and see if the bears flush 275. If they do, right, just giving some future scenarios. If they do, look how much space, guys, on the monthly, right? This is absolutely ridiculous, right? Absolutely ridiculous amount of space for Meta to work with here. So we'll see if they can kind of preserve the gains here into the rest of the week and continue this daily uptrend here, pull back and potentially set a bit higher here. Or if we roll over, but Meta, not looking good, not looking bad, just grinding away here. Grinding away, obviously, for a real move to the upside, guys. Well, obviously, you'll need to see a break of 325 to really set all of our short-term timeframes exceptionally back to the bulls. Microsoft as well, right? Giving a bit back here, but still coming back and sitting on our moving averages here. Microsoft, kind of like Meta, just been grinding, right? Very choppy. Even on the downside here was very choppy, right? So daily uptrend is confirmed, guys. Even if we do pull back anything above 319.55, it's just going to be for a daily higher low, right? We have some moving average support. We also have this horizontal support down here around 327. So we'll see what the bulls can do. If they do pull back and then have to smash here, I'll need a smash of 338 at this point, right? To continue the move to the upside. On the weekly, I mean, they've put in a decent move, not an excellent move, you know what I mean? But they've put in somewhat of a decent move, almost taking back about 50%. Not good enough for me personally, but it's a decent move. That's all I can pretty much say about this, right? If for some reason we roll over the daily uptrend into a daily downtrend, our weekly upswing will be finished at that point, right? And we'll be looking, can the bulls at that point hold 312.50 to hold this weekly move intact, potentially reset a weekly uptrend, or will the bears capitalize, put us into a weekly downtrend, put us into further monthly consolidation? And at that point, guys, you know the drill. My sweet spot for Microsoft comes down into the 307 to 285 area. I'm definitely buying. So just be patient with it. Can't buy it up here. We're going to see what happens to it, right? So we either need to see two things, right? Need to see the bulls recapture or continue this daily uptrend. I'll need a break of your 339 level for that, and then start pushing into your higher 350, 360 area. Or the bears tomorrow with bad CPI could just capitalize, come too deep into this move, set up the daily downtrend, set up the weekly move down, and then we'll look to the weeklies, right? But for now, daily bulls on all these charts, guys, daily bulls are still in control, right? At this point, the proof is on the bears to reverse these daily timeframes. The bulls control most of these weekly charts, most of these monthly charts, and now they also control the dailies, right? So bears have all the steps to do. First, they have to capture the daily downtrends. Then they have to set weekly downtrends, which is still a bit of ways on a lot of these stocks, right? To cut these weeklies, except for Apple. Apple is somewhat close, but a lot of these stocks have created a beautiful amount of space. So NVIDIA now still consolidating here on the day here, down roughly 0.68%. Not too bad of a day, but we are trading below our 250 level, guys. Remember saying how I was saying that 250 was crucial? Well, now we are absolutely trading below it here. So the bulls have lost the daily uptrend. Not by much, I'll give it to them, only by $2-3, right? But they have lost this whole daily uptrend is now lost because you flushed your lows here. So now daily uptrend is lost. Where do we have to look to? We have to look to the weekly. This means that weekly consolidation is currently underway. So 404 becomes your line in the sand level. 12 EMA down here at 436, perfectly fine. Little area of support here, right? So we're looking to 404. Can the bulls set a weekly higher low and potentially come back up to your all-time highs? For that, they will need to set up a new daily uptrend, however, now that we've lost these 450 lows. So we're going to keep an eye on NVIDIA. Keep in mind, the more the bulls pull back into this area, the harder it's going to be for them to V-shape this, especially with no earnings run up for, until November, right? So we'll keep an eye on this, guys. NVIDIA still has not had its monthly pullback. Could the monthly pullbacks be starting now? We will see. But first things first, the bears need to set the daily downtrend. Then they need to set a weekly downtrend. And only then will you have confirmed monthly consolidation. So a lot of work for the bears, in my opinion, a lot more than the bulls at this point, right? But we'll see. I know NVIDIA is a bit extended on the year. So we'll see how it plays out. AMD might fit my better pick. Tesla here, Tesla pulling back on the day. Tesla opened beautifully and then sold off, right? So on the open here today, you'll see that we were up almost 2% here at one certain point, and then top to bottom sell-off, guys, over 4.3%. Completely normal in my opinion, guys. I mean, yesterday was pretty much a 10-11% day with after hours trading. So monster of a day. Pullback was to be expected at a certain point, and I'm happy that we did get it pretty much right away. That keeps your lower time frames, or I mean daily and down, right? It keeps the time frames from being extremely overbought. So that way the bulls can kind of come back, accumulate more, and potentially pump. There is a little gap here, right, between your 260 area and the previous 256. So let's just keep that in mind. But it is lining up perfectly with our support. This yellow line here, 257.50, I do expect it to play a decent amount of support for Tesla if we do pull back here. A little bit of a consolidation day, guys, within yesterday's trading. So we'll see if CPI is bad tomorrow. Obviously, this can consolidate more. If it's good tomorrow, well, then obviously it can hold around here, right? But after such a large move based off of news yesterday, it's normal to get a bit of consolidation here. Bulls in absolute full control of this daily uptrend. Tons of space, guys. Anything above 243 is just a pullback for a daily higher low for further continuation. Even on the weekly, guys, I love the size of this bounce. Even if we do pull back here on the weekly, tons of space for the bulls to set a weekly higher low and confirm a new weekly uptrend after having lost the weekly uptrend back here, right? Now they have to set up a brand new weekly uptrend, but the monthly looking absolutely gorgeous for continuation into Q3 and Q4. And now our two last ones, Palantir and PayPal. Palantir, inside trading day as well. Palantir, guys, one of the weakest names in tech, in my opinion. I know it's not big tech, but it's a fan favorite and it's a retail traded favorite. That's why we covered it on the channel. Same thing applies for Palantir right now, as we are within this disgusting tightening range here. Give me a break of 1640, and then the bulls have more confidence, in my opinion, to start taking back more of this weekly move. But as of now, in my opinion, this is a weekly bear flag for potential downside, guys. You can see that they have not captured a lot of this move whatsoever, right? Only 38%. One of our weaker bounces in all of tech, considering this massive run up that we had all the way back here, right? So very weak bounce by the bulls. Bulls look tired, in my opinion. So we'll see if they lose at this point, guys, right? Your two levels, key levels for the daily, 1430 is going to be your daily level here. Lose that, set up a daily downtrend. And then at a certain point, if you lose 1370, right, your weekly downtrend for further monthly consolidation will be underway. So keep that in mind on Palantir. And Palantir, I'm not ready to buy here at these levels, even though it has come down a bit. 13 to 12 is my area. PayPal now. PayPal with a beautiful day, but giving a lot of it back in the end of the day here, right? So this was very unfortunate for PayPal because at a certain point, they were up pretty much bottom to top. This was over a 3% move. PayPal doesn't get those often. But from the close of yesterday, guys, we were up at a certain point, 2.5, 2.7%, right? So it was a good day. Lower time frames are under our control, right? So beautiful hourly uptrend right here. Tons of space to continue it. Now on the daily bounce is underway, guys. So we saved our $60 area of support, right? So daily uptrend continues at this point. Now need to see a break of 64. If we don't break 64 and pull back, and at that point break 60, it'll be a daily confirmed downtrend for weekly consolidation furtherance, right? What I need to see on PayPal, I'll reiterate it again. I need to see this continue to the upside here, pull up into our 65, 66 area. Why? Because I want it to look like this move. Pull up here, give each other enough space to really reverse this into a weekly uptrend here and start taking back more of this earnings. It's the exact same move pretty much to the T, right? When you look at these candle formations and everything, it's looking fairly similar, but I need to get above these weekly moving averages, guys. That's step number one. So we'll see if PayPal can get it done here, or if we roll over for lower. If we roll over for lower, guys, keep in mind I will be buying down here in the high $50 area range. I would like 57, 56, so I can average down on my position. So that's pretty much everything that I had for you guys today. Tomorrow, very, very big day on CPI, so not going to do too much analysis since we are kind of in between points here, guys, right? Really in between points, guys. In between our areas. We're either going to continue our daily uptrends or the daily downtrends start, and then we'll have to look to the weeklies for the rest of September here, okay? So keep that in mind. Hope you guys had a good day of trading today. As always, consider liking the video if you enjoyed it. Also consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. We'd love to have you around here. And if you have any questions, any comments on stock-specific related things, options, macro, whatever you want, news, headlines, anything you guys want, I'm always happy to answer. So take care. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.